Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a wise thing that the Higher School of Economics pays attention to the necessity for semantic interoperability. We have different languages, different cultures, different techniques, and different methods as what we call method of operandi, methodus operandi. I strongly advise you to consider that we will respect standards, not special standards from my country, but standards in general. We need standards to understand each other, but moreover, we need semantic interoperability to have machines understanding each other. If we want to go into telehealth, e-health, it is crucial that one machine who registers something from you understands also the database where the data goes into, or that the software from the doctor understands the data from the patient collected on a smartphone. It is crucial, and I repeat the word crucial, to work on semantic interoperability. Delivering healthcare from a black box is old-fashioned, but not only old-fashioned, it is dangerous. If you want to have the best care from the best doctors, and maybe the best doctors are in Russia or in Vietnam or in Europe, it is you to decide which doctor fits you best. He or she needs all information available from you. Available from your Moscow medical health file, available from collection from your mobile phone, available from collected anywhere, or to be collected maybe in the future. Therefore, it is crucial that all this data comes into one medical file where it can be read by doctors and that we can trust the data. We see that cross-border telehealth is improving, and we see that it's not being picked up by everybody. We need to consider the soft parts of telehealth. Telehealth is not what I would call a hard thing. It's a soft thing. And that implies that telehealth is also a cultural change. The patient can prepare him or herself in a better way for the discussion with the doctor. But also we should consider telehealth to be used for non-somatic diseases, mental diseases. And I would strongly recommend that we will have an open discussion about mental well-being. And mental well-being needs a tool called e-health for mental e-health, like they do in Denmark. There is more than only teledermatology or telecardiology. And it should not be an add-on on the present. It should be replacing a part of the existing care, not because I want to put doctors out of work. No, I want to deliver the care to the people, next to the people, potentially at their homes, at a lower expense, earlier, no waiting list, and when it suits the client. Where, for instance, in Spain is a broker that creates better services for teleradiology. All the images being made during today can be seen during the night thanks to them, sometimes in New Zealand or in Japan or in Argentina. And the reports can be back in the morning. The quality is better, the price is cheaper, the waiting list is reduced. And you see more and more countries, companies exporting the reading of radiology. What you see also in cross-border, and then it is not physically in national borders, but in domain borders, that where we have the primary care, the secondary care, and the tertiary care, that if we use, for instance, as an example, teledermatology, with the proper use of teledermatology, we can keep about 70% of the people near to the primary care, thanks that the referrals only end up by 30%. And these people can be seen by a teledermatologist earlier, and there will be no waiting list of 2, 3, 4, 5 months. The GP has better contact with his patient, but not only that, the GP also earns a little bit for it. It goes faster, and the great advantage for the GP is that he learns from it. Because what you see from the GP, that if he or she is working with teledermatology, in the beginning they have something like 50-50%. They do 50% themselves with help of teledermatology, and 50% they do themselves. The longer they do teledermatology, it goes up to 2/3 they can manage themselves because they got experience, and 1/3 need to be referred to secondary hospitals. And what you see also in eye care is that the great advantage of teleoptometry is that those who really need the help of an eye specialist can be seen sooner instead of 4 or 5 months waiting. We roughly can say that 2/3 of all referrals in the optometry can be done by a local well-trained optometrician. All people benefit from this because the dermatologist only sees the serious ones for which he has been educated. The GP does not have to send people away, but can keep their patient in his or her practice. My idea in general is that if we want to beat the horrendous cost explosion in healthcare, we are obliged to introduce modern styles of telemedicine, and maybe we need to consider cross-border medicine. Like we do in the Netherlands, some of the hip replacements are done in foreign countries, like Spain and Portugal. Some of the eye operations were done till recent date in Ankara. I don't know how this is continuing. And what you see is that we started something 20 years ago for open heart operations to go to Houston. This has been minimized, but there is a new set of experiences that might come cross-border healthcare if you have this operation on little children and even pre-partus operations. This is a very complex type of operation. If the ERNs, the European Reference Networks, become a success, then the rare diseases, those who are very, very rare, people might be offered to travel from one country to the other country to get a better treatment. Because even in a country like mine, the Netherlands, 17 million people, we have for special adrenal diseases only 3 centers of expertise. This implies that in countries like maybe Bulgaria or Greece, you might have 1 center only. And if the capacity or the competences might differ, then we might shift the people. In the old days, this was not possible, but thanks to an opening world and thanks to participation of Russian in many, many, many things we do in the Western part, we can share the knowledge and maybe we can share the patients. It is obvious that we only will move the patient when he or she has got a rare disease where expertise elsewhere is better, or in some cases where expertise is better and cheaper. In general, we want to bring the healthcare to the people. In general, we do not want to invest in bricks. In general, we do not want to move the patient. But in certain cases we have to, and then we get cross-border. And to this cross-border initiative, I like to call upon everybody to look into the EPSOS project, where we had this minimum data set, and I think it's crucial that everybody works on that, because the minimum data set is the beginning of a good cooperation between doctors in different countries, and to know that they have the right patient and give the right information. We should stop by thinking that it's all the duty of the doctors. The patient has a role today. He and she need to ensure that he or she does collect the right information, copy everything that is available before you go transborder. And please think about it, to talk with your doctor at your home or in your hospital about the blue button opportunity. Get a printout of everything that is available before you go abroad to seek help. And seek help only possible in cooperation and in co-management with your own physician. Please don't go without him or his consent. You don't need his permission, but a consent is something different. That means that you do it in co-management and cooperation. I wish you a very, very, very good conference. I hope you can come up with some answer for better semantic interoperability. I hope you will understand that we need standards for this. And it's not that I demand that you start to use European standards. I invite us all to use one standard or these standards which are available on the global market now these days to make healthcare, telehealth in a more safer environment and telehealth in a more reliable part of the total healthcare. Thank you very much. I wish you a very good conference. Good afternoon.